people forget that PGA Tour Canada also went away during that time. Now, we had other opportunities for players to play. Scott Pritchard did a great job of creating the kind of a mini series in Canada for people to play. There was also a mini series developed in the U.S. to keep the guys playing and going. But PGA Tour Canada is actually back for real this season. Full schedule, bigger, better than ever. As they start in the West Coast, they're moving east. They're actually headed our way shortly into Ontario. They just handed out their second trophy of the season yesterday in Edmonton, and the latest winner on PGA Tour Canada joins us now, Wil Bateman. Wil, how are you, man? Congratulations. Awesome. I know you've been out there. I know you've been professional for quite some time, playing for quite some time. What's it mean to finally be a winner, and what's it mean to do it in Edmonton?
Oh, it's huge. First win on, PGA Tour Canada, and to do it in my hometown in front of, everybody that was there, it was massive.
Now, not only was it your hometown, you also played golf at the Edmonton Petroleum Golf and Country Club from the age of 6 to 12. So give us some perspective on how much that meant to not only play in front of home fans, but on your home course, too.
Yeah, grew up there when I was younger and, played there a bunch. So it was, home turf, I felt like. But, yeah, I try to stay patient all week and, to chip in the playoff on, 18 in front of everybody going nuts. It was a lot of fun.
Wil, you played well in the opening event, 67, 65, 68 when you were out in Victoria, and then you closed with 73. You had a rough Sunday. Did you learn from that Sunday, and did you anticipate this coming? Because you shot rounds of 65, 67, 68, 65, a bookend 65 in this one. I just get the feeling that you were just not going to let this one get away.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like I played really, really good last week. We kind of, being in contention there, we got some terrible weather. Basically, the morning wave basically was no wind, no rain for, 4 or 5 hours. And then as soon as 12 o'clock hit, there was, it was blowing 20 and raining. So I basically just, told myself to stay patient. And I knew that, putting myself in contention again, and I was going to get some good weather eventually. And luckily it was the week after, but it was fun.
So we mentioned this briefly, Wil, that you won in a three-man playoff, and you chipped in for the second playoff hole to get the victory. Walk us through what that chip in was like, what kind of shot you were facing, and what reaction was like right after it went in.
Yeah, going into that shot in regulation, I actually putted it, and I didn't know where I was at because I'm not really, I don't really watch leaderboards too much, but I putted in regulation, and it was pretty sticky in there. So I left it like 15 feet short and ended up missing that, making par from, I was only, 20, 30 feet from the pin in regulation. But anyways, I hit it there on the second playoff hole, and it was a no-brainer that I was going to chip it. And I kind of just went into it thinking that, I hold the shot on my buddies all the time and just do it one more time, and ended up going in.
We're with Wil Bateman, the latest winner on PGA Tour Canada. He got it done in a three-man playoff on the second hole. As you just heard at the ATB Classic presented by Volvo Edmonton on Sunday. Wil, what does this do for the rest of the year? Does it change your goals at all or change your outlook? And is that a double-edged sword? Is that a trap door with, okay, I've got to win under my belt now. I've got to change things, or I've got to change how I feel about the year in terms of success? Because it could, it can be a trap that you fall into, as opposed to, hey, I'm obviously on the right plan. I'm obviously doing the right things. Let's just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, going into this year, my goal was to win the money list and win the points list. I know that this is a great start. We're only 2 events in, but yeah, I'm just trying to stay patient and stuff, and I'm not looking too far ahead. Like I said, it's only the second event, and it's a great start to the year, but I know that there's a lot of golf to play, and I'm just gonna focus on one shot at a time from here on out.
Now, of course, we always talk about, Will, how the U.S. Open ends on Father's Day, but for you, you got a victory also on Father's Day. How special was that?
No, it was fun. My dad was right there, and yeah, just chipping in and then going giving him a big hug and telling him I told you. It was cool. It was really cool.
Will, before we let you go off the top, we were talking about, the return of the RBC Canadian Open, but obviously the return of PGA Tour Canada. And, what does it mean to someone like yourself and some of your, colleagues out there to have the tour back this year, full flight, a full schedule, strong sponsors, a real place to play and get tuned and hopefully make the next step to the Corn Ferry Tour and beyond? How important was it for you that it is back this year on Canadian soil?
Yeah, it's been huge. I've really been looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it, honestly, last year before that they made the Forum Tour and we decided to play in the States. But to have it back this year and to be playing some really good golf and knowing that I'm going to some courses that are familiar and obviously being up on home turf, it's been massive. And I think that Scott's been doing an amazing job with getting some great sponsors, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun year, and just looking forward to the rest of it.
Congratulations, Will. Good luck the rest of the way. Let's hope we do this again on another Winners Monday here on Golf Talk Canada. Let's grab a few more W's.
Talk to you next week, man.
There you go. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Will, take care.
Thanks, Will.
Will Bateman, the latest winner on PGA Tour Canada. He leads the way now as the race to the Fortinet Cup continues. He is number one. Scott Stevens in second place. Jake Knapp in third. Joe Highsmith in fourth, and Jorge Villar holds on to, actually he's in a tie for fourth with Joe to round out the top five, as we'll keep an eye on the race to the Fortinet Cup points list throughout the year here on Golf Talk Canada. And of course, that tour's coming east. It's going to land in Ontario. We're going to have an Ontario Open. We're going to be up at TPC Osprey Valley for another event here in Ontario. And then they will circle back from the east and finish the season in Kitchener at Deer Ridge for the Players' Cup, the big one.
And one of the favorite things about being on this show is, we talk about, these big superstars winning U.S. Opens, winning major championships. But now we get to tell our audience about these players coming up. Maybe Wil Bateman will be the next Corey Connors or the next Adam Hadwin or the next Mackenzie Hughes. Or, there are 38 PGA Tour Canada grads playing at the RBC Canadian Open. It's an unbelievable tour, and it's so great that we were able to showcase their stories every week here on GC.
100%, because if you look at the graduating class or group that has come from PGA Tour Canada and what they've gone on to, it's incredible. Elk Ridge next week will host in Saskatoon. Then they will head to Prince Edward Island for an event, and then they will land in the province of Ontario, Osprey Valley Open, Ontario Open, then head to Quebec, Manitoba, stay in Manitoba for a double dip, back to the West Coast for a Golf BC Championship, and then the Fortinet Cup Championship, Deer Ridge, Kitchener, to end it all, as that is the big one, as we will find out who wins the Fortinet Cup.